readers, and welcome to my January book haul. I've accumulated a lot of books in the month of January. All of these books I only pretty much spent $20 on because most of them were books from friends like Brittany, Giselle, and Lynn, and the only ones that I spent money on were Manga, which I got them for unbelievably cheap from Lynn. So let's get started. The first batch are the review books, and the first one is one that I received today, and it is Nearly Found by El Cosimano. If you guys know, or you've watched my videos recently, you know that I read Nearly Gone in October specifically for my mystery thriller month, and I fell in love with that book. So I was always fangirling and gushing about it on Twitter, so the author kindly sent me a copy, and look at that, it's signed by her. This book comes out in June, which is so far away, so I am definitely reading this book in February, and I cannot wait to continue on with this series. This is the first one, and yeah, this is a duology. I am so excited for this. Yes! The next book is another book that is also a review book, but I received also from an author, and it is Willa Groove by Kathleen Peacock. I actually won this from a Twitter giveaway that she held, thank God. And I read this as soon as I got it, which was, I think I started it this end of December 30th, or the last day of December, I don't know if it was 30 or 31 days. And I finished it in January. I devoured this book, I loved it. It's the last book that made me cry, bawl my eyes out like a baby. I have my review up on the blog, which I will leave the link down below. But I truly, truly loved this book. It was perfection. The next book that I got for review is Heartbreak Cafe by No Experience Required by Janet Quinn Harkin. This book was published in 1989, and yeah, I was sent an email if I wanted to review, and it sounded really fun, like really easy breezy, and it was short. I did enjoy it for the most part. I already read this. I gave it 3 stars, but I will talk about this in my January wrap-up. The next book that I got, or the next 2, which are the only 2 review books that I got so far from publishers, is The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. I just finished this book 15 minutes ago. It was so damn good. I loved it. Perfect mystery, thriller, total thriller. I was at the edge of my seat the whole time. I actually read the last 200 pages today. All I could do was read the whole day. I read on the way to university, on the way back from university, and then I stayed in bed and read it until I finished it. Guys, this book was awesome. I need to read more adult thrillers if this is how good they are. If you guys are talking about Gone Girl, this I think is definitely better than Gone Girl. Like, totally better. If you like Gone Girl, you are going to love this. If you did not like Gone Girl, you're going to love this. Definitely check it out. The last review book that I got from Random House is Golden Sun by Pierce Brown. Oh god, this book, guys, this book was amazing. This book was perfection. Another awesome book that I read in January. January is the month of awesome. I read the most amazing books this month. So many great books, and surprisingly, I pretty much read most of my review books, which makes me happy. This book just came out, like, this month, in January, and if you guys liked Red Rising but weren't, like, that impressed, or you were not a big fan of Red Rising, I definitely think you should check this one out, because I gave Red Rising 4 stars, and then I started this one, and Giselle was like, read it, let's better read it, even though she's already read it. She wanted to reread it, like, 2 weeks after she read it. And I couldn't stop reading it, and it was awesome, and it was everything I wanted this book to be. 5 out of 5 stars, all-time favorite. Ugh, can't wait for this. Can't wait for the 3rd book, Morning Star. The next batch of books are 2 review books that were given to me by Lynn, so I'm not really obligated to review them, but I do want to check them out. And the first one is Remember by Aileen Cook. I only read one book by Aileen, which is the Almost Truth, and I quite enjoyed that one. And this one has to do with memory loss, which is one of my favorite subplots in contemporary or any other genre, to be honest. So I am definitely going to check this one out. The next one that I got is The Forgetting by Nicole Maggie. This is about a girl who gets a heart transplant, and through the heart transplant she's somehow getting, I guess, memories or something, or like physical memories from the old person or the girl. So she gets a pause, a hiccup, a catch. Like my heart wasn't beating for me. It was still beating for its old owner. So it sounds pretty cool. I don't think this is contemporary. I think it's contemporary. I'm not 100% sure. So this is another book I'm checking out. So there are several other books that we did end up receiving in January. However, there's a pile here. And this pile contains some of the books that Lynn gave us as well as other books. But my sister wants to do her book haul, so she will hopefully be doing her own book haul with these books. So if you guys gave me books and you don't see them in this video, it's because they're my sister's and she's going to haul them soon. The next batch of books are 12 books and they're manga. And as I mentioned, I got them from Lynn for super duper crazy cheap. Like she was getting rid of them. So I took all 14 and they are 14 volumes of Kimi no Todoki. So this is the first one, and it is by Karushina, and it's by Karushina, Karuhu. I think that sounds about right. It sounds Japanese. So Karuhushina, and the English title is From Me to You. I think I started reading this manga. I'm not 100% sure, but I mean, I do love the art in the book, so let's show you them all. Book number 1, book number 2, book number 3, book number 4, book number 5, book number 6, which I think is super cute, book number 7, book number 8, book number 9, which I think is my favorite so far from the photos, book number 10, book number 11, book number 12, book number 13, and finally book number 14. So they're not only 14 volumes, they're like double that, I think 28-ish, 30. So, but I really want to check those out before, and if I love it, I'm definitely going to be ordering the other ones. Now moving on to the books that I ended up buying in January. I am so happy with myself. I only ended up buying one book, and that is Willa Groove by Kathleen Peacock. Yes, I do have the ARC, but I love this trilogy so much and I want to support the author, and I want a pretty finished copy on my shelf to match these other books right there. I don't know if you can see them, probably you can. So I got a finished copy. The other book that I got is a copy of Since You've Been Gone. Now moving on to the books that were given to me by my generous and awesome and fabulous friends. The first one is a signed copy of The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. This was given to me by Sahela from all the way in Dubai. She shipped it to me along with some other things that Amani sent me, which I will show you guys. But yeah, I'm not like, I gave The Fault in Our Stars 4 stars, but just having this in my collection is just awesome, isn't it? So yeah, thank you so much, Sahela. The next book was given to me by Giselle. She knew that I was reading this trilogy and she had an extra copy, so she gifted it to me. And it is Mortal Heart by Robin Lefevers. I recently read in December Dark Triumph, so I was planning on buying this to finally complete the series and complete my collection, but she had a copy and she willingly gave it to me. So thank you so much, Giselle. I just love this cover. The next books are actually all books that were given to me by Brittany. Brittany and Giselle, Marina, Patty, and Melissa were all on one WhatsApp group, and we sometimes send each other photos of books that we don't want and we're planning on unhauling, and for any one of us who wants any of these books, just to claim them. So Brittany pretty much got rid of like over 100 books, like I'm not even kidding, and they're not ARCs, they're mostly finished copies. So it was pretty much like a whole festival going on there in that WhatsApp conversation because there's so many photos. So I ended up getting a few books from her, and the first 3 are Lies, Fear, and Plague by Michael Grant. I own the first 2 copies and I know that they don't match, but I mean, beggars can't be choosers. And plus, like, I don't know if I'm going to love this series or not, but I thought, you know, it would be better to have them, because what if I do enjoy liking them, then I can have those and I don't have to spend money on books that I get for free, if that makes any sense. Then I picked up Under the Never Sky by Veronica Rossi from her, and If you actually follow me closely from the beginning, you know that I already own a copy of Under the Never Sky, but my problem is that my copy is the international edition. So during Black Friday sale, I ended up buying Through the Evernight, which is a sequel, but then when I matched them together, Through the Evernight was shorter than my Under the Never Sky copy. Worst pet peeve in the history of pet peeves and bookish pet peeves for me. So when I saw this, I asked her, or I think I was pretty sure that it wasn't the international edition. I think I asked her if it was the international edition or not, and it wasn't, so I picked it up, and then now they fit perfectly together. Like, it makes me want, like, I just exhaled. It was such a good feeling, right? So yes, I got this, and this is one of my favorite trilogies ever. So now when the third book comes out on Book Outlet and paperback, I'm gonna snatch it and then complete my collection. Next, I got White Cat by Holly Black from her. Funnily enough, I was always going to pick this up somehow. So on Book Outlet, I would always have it on my cart, but then I'd remove it at the last minute. And when I went with Lubna to these used bookstores, the hardcover was there, and I was about to pick it up, but I'm like, I was talking to her, and I'm like, will I be reading this in the next couple of months? No. So I just put it back, but then she gave me this, and this is the pretty new covers, which I totally like more than the old ones, which I was about to pick up. So I think Red Glove's already on Book Outlet, but I want to read this first, see if I like it, and if I do, I will pick up the sequel. But I will not be picking up any sequels if I don't read the first books. Another book I picked up from her is The Disenchantments by Nina Lacour. Nina Lacour recently published that really famous book Everything Leads to You, I think, with the pretty pink cover. But I've always been interested in this one. It is from a male POV. I generally don't read a lot of male POV, even though there's a girl on the cover. I don't know. But it does include a road trip, which I'm excited for. And it has the prettiest cover ever. So thank you, Brittany. Then I picked up from her What's Left of Me by Kat Zhang. This was another book that I was planning on picking up from Book Outlet, but I never did. My sister read this. She was not the biggest fan, but I do love the premise and the sound of this, and I know a lot of other people that did love it. So again, every time on Book Outlet, and then I remove it because I know I wasn't going to read it anytime soon. But I'm glad I have it now. Now I can, you know, have it on my shelf, and if I ever want to read it, I can. And if I ever want to pick up the sequel, I can read the first book before thinking about buying the sequel. The last three books in this huge, humongous book haul are all part of a series. They're actually a trilogy, so it's a complete trilogy, and it's the Eve trilogy. The first book is Eve by Anna Carey. The second book is Once, and the third book is Rise. I have this thing where I want to at least read all the original dystopian trilogies that came out. So the Eve trilogy came out when Divergent was coming out, when Shadow Me was coming out, when Delirium, when Wither were coming out. So I consider those the mother dystopians. At least they're the dystopian books, or the first dystopian books that came out just when the dystopian trend was happening in the YA world. So I know, like, there's always been dystopians like The Giver and I don't know what, but that's during that time, which is around, I think it was around 2012 or 2011, when the dystopian genre emerged in the YA world. So these ones, as well as the Match trilogy, are ones that I really want to check out, because I consider those also like the mother of trilogies, the mother of dystopians, or like the beginning of dystopians. So yeah, thank you so much, Brittany, for not just completing my trilogy, but for actually starting and completing it for me, giving me the whole thing. So yeah, that was a weird laugh. Thank you. I pretty much had, it was a good day when she sent all those pictures. It was literally like going to a bookstore and shopping for free, no money. So like, the bank account isn't hurt. You don't feel guilty, and in the end you get more books. Though I do feel guilty because I don't want to increase my TBR. That's a problem. However, I have deleted a lot of books off my TBR on Goodreads, and a lot of them I do own. It's just that I'm sort of putting them on the back burner, meaning that I'm not planning on checking them out anytime soon. So I have priorities, and these include them. So the last thing that I got is from Saheda's sister Amani, and Amani is my high school friend, and yeah, so she's all kinds of awesome. I love her, and she sent me so much stuff. Like, honestly, like, thanks, Amani. Like, you have no idea. So you'll notice I changed my jacket, and that's because the one that I was wearing was the one she sent me. And this is a Harry Potter jacket from Black Milk, which is an Australian clothing online store. And here it says, it has the H, so it's like a bomber jacket. And it says Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry Alumni. And this jacket is awesome. It's a birthday gift. I truly love it. I love it so much. And she also sent me a bracelet with the Deathly Hallows sign on there. There's that, which I think is so pretty. I love, love, love it. I'm gonna start wearing it. I just don't want to ruin it, that's why. And she also gave me these Black Milk cool stickers. Black Milk. And this one. Which I think are pretty cool. So yeah, this just, I love this. I love this. Thanks so much, Amani. I love it. She knows me. She knows how much I'm a Harry Potter geek. Thank you so much. I love you. Let's try picking up all these books, which will be impossible, but let's try. So these are all the books that I got for the month of January. I'm going to try to at least not even get too many books from friends. Like, I need to chill. I know I need to chill. I also have several books that I'm getting from Brittany, and then 1 or 2 from Giselle, and then one that I bought that was only $4, so just don't give me that look. Don't give me that look. So yeah, I'm chilling on my review requesting 2, and that is it. I hope you guys have a nice day. Bye. I don't want this to fall. Oh my god, my books. My precious.